Hello folks, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thank you very much for joining me here. You are in tune with the Crypto Show. I'm kidding, you're not, that's not what it's called. But in all reality, this is something that you will learn from and likely gain knowledge. So stay tuned for future endeavors. We're going to look at REEF Blockchain. It's a very exciting one, actually. I'm happy to review this one because I've gotten a lot of requests for it over the past couple months. This is my first time to kind of take a deeper dive into the technicals. And bear in mind, in this video, we only review the technical analysis. There's no fundamentals here. If you'd like to add or include some fundamental information, comment in the description below there. And of course, let us know if there's something that I'm overlooking, but I really only look at the technicals in these types of videos. Also, I'm not a financial advisor, so please do your own research. This is for educational purposes only. Also, feel free to contact me and my community on Telegram or Twitter. The links are in the description below, as well as a link for $25 in free Bitcoin from Voyager. Without further ado, let's get to it. All right, folks, let's go ahead and take a look at REEF. This is a blockchain. I've got a lot of requests on this one, so let's go ahead and take a look and see what happens. I've seen some interesting price action recently too, so I'd be excited to check this one out. And we'll see where we're at. So, quickly taking perspective, this is a 4-hour chart. A lot of highs, a lot of lows. It's actually spiking up and retracing quite frequently. The volume is pretty inconsistent as well, so that's an interesting one. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at Bitcoin first, see if there's any correlation between the two. And just to note, the 17th of April was Judgment Day. There it is right there. So you can see the price is coming up, got hammered down, and again the second and third time. So there's a correlation, yeah. But really quick, before we get started, I just want to highlight on Bitcoin, this is a 4-hour chart for Bitcoin as well, that we are currently trading above the 50-day moving average. We're looking at 1, 2, 3, plus 4, 5 confirmations of that adding as a support. So it's a pretty strong support level at this time, as well as the fact that we have this support at 53,300 approximately. That was broken, but also stayed above with this just small variance. So I think we're in pretty good shape. Those two are working in tandem. We also have the 100-day moving average that is going to be the next hurdle, if you will. And then of course, roughly 57,000 for total cost at the 200-day moving average. So those are the two next milestones we need to get over. But for Bitcoin at this point, kind of business as usual. I would anticipate the price continue upwards from here now that it's tested both support levels and rejected. So that's Bitcoin. And of course, if we look at REEF, we can see that it was impacted right here. Here's the 17th, the very first sell-off, and then there's a short period of consolidation, another sell-off, recover, consolidation, and the very last sell-off with a price increase. So I would dare say that it's following Bitcoin fairly consistent at this point based on what I see on the 4-hour chart. Let's go with the 1-day chart and kind of take a look here. So this is the 1-day chart. It gets a little funny because the very first price action was overinflated. But for right now, you can see it's kind of in a channel here. So why don't we just go ahead and mark some support levels for now. We'll average this one out at approximately 0.056. It's tested this roughly 3 to 4 times. So I kind of go with an average when it's that high and really close. Furthermore, what we've got a good support here at approximately 0.03. We'll see how that looks. Oops. All right. So that's so it's in its channel. It's tested its previous and recent lows, but it does tend to reject right around 0.03 cents. All right. RSI is right in the middle, smack dab in the middle, so anything could happen. It could go up or down. MACD is swinging upwards, but kind of leveled out. So honestly, it's really at a state of indecision right now. Not much to extrapolate from here. Let's look at the 4-hour chart though. Hopefully we got some better figures. Nope, basically the same thing. I do want to note, however, that the moving averages, which are, in my opinion, the most valid at this stage, this time frame, essentially, In the 4-hour chart, the 50, 100, and 200-day moving averages I feel work the best. They are the most robust, and right now you can see that the 100 and 200-day moving average is trading above and the price is below, so it's kind of in its channel right now between the 50 and 100-day moving average. So honestly, it's hard to say specifically what's going to happen with the price action here, but we could possibly find a good entry point on the 15-minute chart. Looking at the 15, pretty much the same thing. It's hard to say. It's got this interesting wave pattern where it goes up and down. Isn't that interesting? It's going in waves, and the name is REEF. That's cool. There's a correlation. Stupid, I know, but I had to go there. You watch enough of these videos, you'll find some really dry humor. That's okay. Okay, so 15-minute chart. Let's go ahead and quickly figure out here. So let's remove the moving averages just so we can keep less noise on the screen. Take a look here. I like to squeeze it down a little bit so we can kind of get a feel for it. So as you can see, the volume weighted average price works as a support and equally resistance. Right now it is a support level, but there's a significant variance here, and I want to point this out just so you guys understand what that means. When you have a variance like this for the volume weighted average price, in other words, the distance between this line and the top of the price action, when that difference gets so severe that the price has to recover and come back down, or the inverse, it has to go up too. So taking a look at this here, let's just take a quick perspective. What was that? That was about 3.5%. Okay, let's take a look at this guy here before it came back down. That's about 5.5%, 6%. So if you get upwards of just say 5% or greater with the variance between the volume weighted average price and the price action, then you're going to find that it will likely retrace and come back down. Now this might continue up to find another high and then come back down, where it's hard to say, but I would say anything over 5% variance between the volume weighted average price and the top of the price action will cause the price to come down. Okay, so something to remember, because to me the volume weighted average price is my significantly best friend. If I had a best friend in trading, it would be VWAP. I don't know what I would call her, but I could tell you that it's just a really solid tool that you can use as long as you know how to use it effectively. We'll look at the 1-minute chart and I'll kind of address how that looks as well and how it benefits you, but generally speaking, when the variance gets so high, right? So say this variance right here of approximately 5% got to that point. That should be a signal or an indication for you to possibly consider trimming your position or to sell your open position. So say you got in somewhere in here, price comes up, you got 2 15-minute green bars. Okay, great, I like this momentum, I'm gonna get in. It comes back up again. Right here, you probably should have been, okay, I'm gonna try to get out now. That might have been a 1 or 2% gain, but that's still pretty good. But when you see that type of variance between the VWAP and the price action, and then you also see the RSI over 70, get out, take your profit, call it a day. Unless it's continuing to do that later in the day and you could try to take more profit, right? But what I'm getting at here is that when you see the combination of a large variance in the VWAP from the price action and the RSI over 70, it's almost always a guarantee to get out, because the price will retrace the steps and come right back down. Okay. So if you're going to take anything from this, that would be a good thing to note based on the price action from REEF right now so far. Okay. So that's essentially what I see here on the 15-minute chart so far. Let's take a look at the 1 minute and see what's going on here. Wow, that is small. Let's go ahead and try this again. All right, so it's currently trending over, heading over VWAP there. See, there's that large variance I was talking about right there. When there's a retrace, comes back down. So what we could do here, and this price action is kind of funny, it's hard to really pick and choose, but let's just, for fun, let's go ahead and see what the Fibonacci retracement tool tells us. And you go from the lowest point to the highest point, or highest to lowest if you are shorting. So let's see what that looks like here. Fairly accurate. So you can see here again, this is what usually industry standards are going to be using. They're the ones that control the price. And anytime you see the the price action here, these lines, these are the major support and resistance lines that they typically use. So instead of me like drawing my own support and resistance lines, they'll just pull up a little tool like this and have it all ready for them. So if you can see, look at how it retraced this. So look, that's a major support, major resistance, and likely major support. See how it blasted through there and came back up? So how you can use this to your advantage is to essentially be less greedy than they are. If you watch my previous videos, you'll hear me say this, to be less greedy than the next person. And I like to say that because it kind of puts things into perspective, because if these industry leaders are quote unquote greedy, right, and they're taking their profits right at this point, say they take their profit right here, then what do you think you'd want to do? Where do you think you want to take your profits? You'd want to take your profits right here. In a long position, you take your profits before they do, so that way when it retraces and comes back down, you don't lose your gains. Okay? So try to use that. Again, it's confusing at first if you're not familiar with it, but once you use it a few times, you realize, oh my gosh, there's something to this. This is what they use, this is what I should use. But don't follow it to a T. That's where people go wrong, because then they get greedy and they try to max out their gains. And I don't care about a 10% gain. I'm interested in a daily 1 to 3% gain, because that gets me to $1 million in 3 years or less, starting with $5,000. Okay. So just be smart, don't get greedy, and again, wait for confirmation. So ideally, to say in this scenario, you see, okay, it's confirming the price action is moving up. I'm going to get in right here. You get in right here, and you ride this wave to this point here. Get out. Take your profit. Doesn't matter if it comes back down and goes back up. You made your money for the day, and you're done. Like, you can literally be a part-time, everyday day trader, a scalper, so to speak, and you can literally make as much, if not more, in the crypto world as a 9-to-5 trader does Monday through Friday, because they're trading too often. Yeah, so patience is key. Easier said than done, but try to temper yourself and don't buy into the hype. And don't get crazy on all this stuff here, okay? Just look at the indicators, be smart, and get out, take your profit, right? All right, so now that I made that sound super easy, go out and do it now, right? Now, anyways, so that's kind of just the bottom line. Take a look at that, figure it out. Let's go back to the 15-minute chart and just note that I always recommend doing this here. If you're gonna not do the 1-minute chart, that's great, that's fine and dandy. Prefer you don't anyways, because it's just too much noise a lot of times. Use the 15-minute chart, wait for confirmation, and only take entry at major support and resistance levels. If you're gonna take entry at a support level, make sure it's confirmed at least twice or more on a 15-minute time frame. And then furthermore from that, if it goes up to test a resistance level, if it doesn't break, get out and take your profits. Right? As soon as you see a red 15-minute green bar, a 15-minute red bar close, get out, you're done. There's no need. Heaven forbid you get a 0.5% gain, it's still a gain, right? At the end of the day, that's all it is. Just constant gains. You just stack that money, stack those coins, and just make sure you're careful and just, again, be patient. So anyways, I have a tendency of rambling. Sorry for that, and thank you for listening. Hopefully you found benefit from this. So hopefully this gives you some perspective on what might be a good entry point for you. I can't tell you a specific time and price. That's just not what I do. But I can tell you that there's some really good things you can learn and understand. If you'd like to continue to do so, please like and subscribe, and join me in the next video. I'll probably make a review of this again soon once I see a little more price action. But thank you for your patience. To my Telegram community for those who had asked for me to cover this a while ago. Okay, well, that's all I got for you. Hope you have a good rest of your day. We'll see you later. Bye.